This is the first part of the series. I'm going to be building a pedestal extension table. It's going to be made primarily out of walnut with a few secondary materials. First thing I've done is to take some walnut, and I was very lucky to have some walnut that I got from a friend of mine who had a large pile of walnut sitting in a barn for about 25 years. So this is very old. I managed to grab probably 200 to 300 board feet of it. One of the pieces I found was a piece that was about, I don't know, about 4 feet long, a little over 5 inches thick, and about 12 inches wide. I've cut it down a little bit, and I'm going to use it as a centerpiece, but I wasn't able to double up two of them because of the length. So I've decided to take some 8-quarter walnut, sandwich between the two. Now what I've done here is I've also taken this and I've planed it, I've squared it on one edge. It's perfectly flat, and I plan to laminate these together. I'm going to be using some cawls to do that. I'm going to show you how to make those in a minute. But I do want to show you one thing here. The base for this is basically going to be around 7.5 inches all the way around. Now, after I got done planing this and squaring it, I noticed there was some sapwood on one of the edges. I don't want that to show in the final base of this project, so I'm putting that on the outside. Now, on the bottom, I've got basically the same thing. I don't know if you can see that right there. I want to put those on the outside edges because what I'll be doing after these get laminated together, I'll be squaring this board up, finding the center, drawing a circle, and then I'll be cutting away the excess on this so I don't have to turn so much. I'm also kind of worried about such a big piece on the lathe, but I'll turn it slow and hopefully it'll come out all right. Let me show you how I made those cawls. I have a piece of Doug fir, and the first thing I want to do is get a very nice straight edge on it. I've taken over the joiner and given it a quick test over. Over at the table saw, I need to measure the width of the board. I want to basically split it in half. Move my fence over. Also want to check to make sure that the blade height is good. Set my push block. Ready to cut. Next thing I need to do is cut these boards to length, so I get out my small cross-cut sled. I adjust the stop. I want to make these about 32 inches wide, 32 inches long, I should say. Tighten it down. I want to make sure I put the jointed edge against the fence, put it in place, make the cut. after laying the boards out, I want to take a pencil. I want to mark the edges that I'm going to joint. What I want to do is slightly taper the boards towards each end and leave a high spot in the middle. Take them over to my joiner, check the edges I'm going to run over. I want to drop it down about in the middle. The joiner is set for a little over a 1/16 of an inch and run it through. Mark those edges again just to make sure I use the right sides. As you can see, the board's high in the middle and I've got some give at each end. This will apply all the clamping pressure towards the middle of the board. Well, the next thing I want to do is I want to lay the cauls out. This is an old router table I have. I use it as a assembly table now. Wheels around, it's very nice, it's very heavy. Relatively flat, and it'll be very good for this. So I'm going to lay out my glue up. Before I do the lamination, I want to make sure that everything works. It's just good practice to do that. So this is nice also because the cauls will stick out over the edge, which will give me a place to hold the clamp. So. So now, this is all got to come apart. I'm going to use a slow setting glue, spread glue over these, clamp this up and let it sit for a day or so. Make sure everything gets dry on it. I'm ready to do the final glue up. Got some Type-On 3, which will give me a longer open time. And I've got a credit card that will help spread this out with. My old Lowe's card, I since have a new one. It gets used a lot, obviously. So what I'll do first is make sure I have a good amount of glue on here. And it's been a while since I used this, so I'm just going to open this up because I'm going to need a lot. Get rid of that some of this excess glue on the side that I want to keep flat. It's all going to go away anyway. Like I said, I want to use that as kind of a reference edge when I do this. Slid on me a little bit, but not too bad. Wet, but not real wet. there, get rid of that. I've got it all glued up now. I've got the side very flat like I want it. I'm leaving these calls on this for probably at least 24 hours, maybe 2 days. Tomorrow I'm not going to be able to get out in the shop, so I'll leave it here till Friday, and then I'll be out here all weekend. So after that, I'll square this up and get it ready to go on the lathe.